What's up, guys? Today we're going to be doing a quick comparison video on the Jackery 500 Explorer versus the Jackery 1000 Explorer V2. Now, I just picked up this Jackery off of Black Friday. It was an incredible deal, so I couldn't pass this up. So now that I have both of these units, I'm going to do a quick comparison. Now, obviously, I'm not trying to sell you on either one being better or the other. Obviously, the 1000 is going to be a lot better, but we're going to talk a little bit about why I chose the 1000, how it's going to fit your overland needs, and if it's the right power solution for you. So let's go ahead and start with some comparison. Now, as far as the weight on the Jackery 500, this one weighs in at roughly about 13 pounds versus the Jackery 1000 being at 25 pounds. The biggest difference not only is the battery capacity being 1,000 and so change of watts versus I'm sorry, 500 plus 500, I believe, and 2 watts versus 1,074 watts. Obviously, it's bigger, almost double that, but the cells are different. So right here, you've actually got lithium ion phosphate batteries, which last a lot longer. You've got a better charge cycle, but they actually are bigger as far as the size of the cells. So Jackery did a pretty good job at keeping everything nice and small and still fitting double the amount in less than double of the unit size. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the Jackery. And now let's go take a look at the Jackery 1000. Now let's go and take a look at the overall measurements. Now both units work well for my overland system, which is behind the vehicle. Now I have an overall width right here of about 11.11 and a half by 7.5 by 10 versus the 1000 being about, let's say, 13 inches by 9 inches by about 10. So again, really not much difference in the size. It's pretty similar in size. This one does have a handle that lifts up, but as far as the size comparison, really not a big deal moving to here. This one definitely packed a lot more punch. Now, let's talk about light. This one does have a built-in light right here. As you guys can see, it is really not that bright. It is a bright day today, but it is not that bright. Now, that only has one light setting, by the way. This one has a light here. It's super bright today, but it is actually very, very bright in general. Really bright LED, has a flash mode for SOS. That's the difference in the light. Now let's talk a little bit about the display. They both have a display. This one looks like an analog display. This one is more digital, and it has meter readings and so on, and also the wattage input that you're gonna get. So it's very, very accurate. Instead of this one, all you see is percentage and what it's using to drain. You do see some input and output that you see here, but definitely not as detailed as you would get right here. Now, as far as the 110 outlets, the Jackery 500 only has one, and the 1000 has 3 of these, and these are very, very convenient so that you can charge anything on a 110. For example, if you got a blender, if you got a heater, you got a heated blanket, you've got a rice cooker, anything that is a 110, you can actually bring it with you and plug it in there, and you don't have to use this and use a splitter and actually try. Yeah, so this is definitely a big upgrade having 3 versus 1. Now, as far as USB is concerned, now this one has 3 USBs, but this one actually has only 1 USB, but you got 2 USB-Cs that are very, very efficient at 30 watts and 100 watts, so super, super efficient. You still got your DC outlet right here, just like you have right here. And again, to turn everything on, you have to press these on so that it stays, so the actual unit stays off and is very, very efficient. I'm not sure if you guys can hear it, but it is very, very, very quiet. That's what the Jackery is also known for, being really quiet. Now, one of the bonuses that I love about the 1000 is where the input ports are at for the solar panels. So currently I have one input port right here for the 8mm. Now for the Jackery, they're actually down here. So you've got your regular AC plug right here, and you've got 2 openings for your solar panels. So you can be like me, where you have a solar panel that's on top of the vehicle, and you can also have solar panels on the side. So you can have something like this where it's a rock pile, and you can lay it on a day that you want to expose your lights your solar panel to better raise, that's what you would do. And another major difference between these two units is this charging, this input jack right here. So normally you get a jack like this. This plugs into the solar normally. You guys see that it is charging at 17 watts. Now, if you were to take this without the adapter and plug it in, it does not charge because the nipple has actually been increased. This is smaller, this is much thicker. So once you attach the attachment on here, you can go ahead and plug into any of the two outlets and you're gonna get a charge. So you saw me charging at 18 earlier and now I'm at 32. Why? Because the Jackery 1000 actually charges much faster with the solar panel. And again, what the beauty about this is you can actually hook on two solar panels. You're not gonna draw double, but you will add an increase to your overall input that you're gonna be receiving. So overall, this is really going to help me because the Jackery 500 already does a good job for my overlanding needs during a short weekend trip. But anytime I have anything that's extreme as far as weather, whether it's too cold or too hot, I actually run out of juice. So if I'm running a diesel heater during the winter and if I'm staying more than 2 nights, I do run into that issue of not having enough juice. So having the 1000 is going to solve that problem. I can probably run another extra 2 days or 3 days with just having a bigger battery pack. But not only that, but since this charges a lot faster than this, I'm going to be topped off throughout the day versus this, I'm only steadily climbing at most 60 on a really hot day. This one I'm probably pulling hopefully near closer to 100. And again, that's what's nice about it is that I'm always charging full time with my solar already on top of the vehicle. So I'm never going to have to worry about having to hit sun rays. You guys can see right there, the solar is always on. And so that's what's nice. I'm hoping that I can run at least a week with my fridge on, or maybe it'll even run 24/7. So that's my major goal. So that's what I'm actually going to be doing next. I will plug my fridge on here. I'll run it really cold and I'll run it straight for 7 days, let it fluctuate back and forth and see if my fridge will even be able to drain the Jackery all the way. So that's the next test, guys. Make sure you guys follow along if you guys have any questions in regards to any of the units. Again, I went with the Jackery because it's actually compatible with my solar panels. The voltage was 28 on my Rhino Adventure Gear solar panels. So make sure you guys check your specs before you buy any battery pack. I was between an EcoFlow or a Jackery, but again, the Jackery works for what I need. So that's why I went with this unit. And I went with also this unit because it is nice and it is discreet and slim. So it allows me to actually close my vehicle as far as the seats without having to worry about anything protruding. I close everything normally. My rear seats are down. My passenger can still sit normally. All right, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.